There's a lot of people that sell the same thing I have. Okay, so if you're coming to me, that means you want my product because I didn't come find you. You found me. All right, so this is my price. So if you don't want to pay my price, that's fine. It's okay, but I'm not your maker.
It's me and you now. I've been waiting. Think I'm gonna make that move now. Tell me if you like it. Hi everybody, welcome back to Reese DIY. If you're new here, this channel is all about making cool things, sewing cool things, making things with your hands for yourself, for your family, to start your business. So today we're going to do some business talk, and I have my hubby Nate with me. If you've been rocking with me for a while, you've seen him on the channel here and there. Nate's job in Reese DIY is sales. He's my sales team. So how this team works is that I am the creative one that sews and makes the things. I just love to make things. I love the fabrics, all that stuff. Like, I'm the creative on our team. And Nate is like the straight business guy. Like, he's strictly business. And so his expertise is sales. So I make the stuff, he sells the stuff. That's the way our relationship has always been since back in college. Like, I make stuff, he sells the stuff that I make. It's always been that way, and that's the way our team works. If you are not strong at something, you hire people for your weaknesses. So you need to get a team. So if you're not strong at something, you need to get somebody on your team, whether you're paying them or you can get them to volunteer or internship or whatever. You need to get somebody on your team that can do the things that you're not strong in. And I'm not strong in sales.
Our dog growled about that.
I'm not strong in sales. I'm just a giver. I just like to create the stuff. I get really super excited, and I don't care how much it costs. I just want to make that vision happen for you or for myself or whatever. I just want to make it. And Nate doesn't feel that way. He looks at how much stuff is costing us to make. Is the customer paying for that? How much are we profiting? That's his expertise. So if you struggle, if you're you're obviously the creative person, that's probably why you're here, is because you're creative. But if you struggle in making that sale and charging what you're worth and all that kind of stuff, get somebody on your team, and that person is Nate. So Nate's going to give his 2 cents about pricing, what he hears, because a lot of people often ask Nate about pricing their product, or they say they want to start a business and all that kind of stuff. And so I give one perspective just from a creative standpoint, like, just do it. You know, I'm that cheerleader like that. And then Nate comes from a different perspective, just as sales team, business, male entrepreneurship. He has a different take. So this is a topic that's really sensitive for Nate. Sometimes as crafters, I know that I'm guilty of this. You don't value your gift because you just do it. It's easy for you. It comes easy to you. So I'll look at something and I'll say, oh, that's easy to make. Oh, that's nothing. It's, you know, I'm just going to charge this amount. And Nate comes in like, no. And what do you have to say about that? Like, about devaluing your gift or not valuing your gift or whatever?
Sharice will make items, and she'd be like, it only took me 12 minutes to make that. I'd be like, that's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. So you say, so similar, say a hairdresser, because it's an easy example. Because their gift, or because it's easy for them to do a hairstyle, does not mean I should charge less because the time it took for me to do this job didn't take that much time, or you didn't have to think, because it's a gift you have. You can't help the gift that you have with your hands. But that does not mean you undercharge, because that means that people will come to you, you have a whole bunch of orders, and you're charging nothing, and that means you're not making any money. So because it comes easy to you, you thank God and you keep it moving, but you do not downgrade, undersell any of your products. You're gonna be broke. When you're trying to make your prices, you have to consider all that goes into the cost of making whatever you're making or selling. Hey, travel time, shipping and handling, all that goes into the cost of what you're charging. So, you know, for us, you know, with our tutu outfits, you have the tulle, you have the ribbon, you have the thread, you know, and then you got the time that it takes, you know, so you kind of like want to break down, like, you know, how much do you want to make an hour? You know, whether it's $20, $25, $50 an hour, well, you got to think, you know, how much did it cost? Add that up, plus 25. You know, if that's what you want to make, and consider how much time it takes you to make these items, you know, and now, is your item in demand?
I have a question about the time. So when you're just starting out, sometimes it takes you a little bit longer to make a tutu, and you're also, sometimes your supplies cost more because you're not ordering in bulk and stuff yet, so it costs you more and it takes you more time. Should you price your item higher for the same item? So if I'm making a ribbon trim tutu, it might only take me like 15-20 minutes, and I buy my supplies in bulk, so it costs me less and it takes me less time, and I price my ribbon trim tutu at $45. Okay, if I'm just starting out and I'm making the exact same tutu, but maybe it takes me an hour and a half to make that same tutu, and I had to get my supplies at the local craft store, so it cost me a little bit more. Is it okay for me to charge $65 for my tutu, or what? How do you feel about that?
No, it's still not okay to charge that much if you're starting out. First of all, you probably wouldn't be starting out.
Even if it takes more time.
Even if it takes more time, you're in the beginning stages.
Also, I feel like the customer doesn't care how much time it took you to make it.
No, they do not.
If they can go to the next person, especially if you're selling on a site like Etsy or eBay, where there's other vendors right next to yours, like you're not selling from your own website, they can just look over at the next person's tutu and it looks exactly like yours, and it's $20, $30 less. Right. So they don't, the customer doesn't, they're just trying to get the tutu or the item. They don't necessarily care that it took you, how much time and love it took you to make it. They just want that item.
You want time and love and all that kind of stuff, start making wedding dress and then you really get paid.
How do you know if your item is priced too high?
Well, one, how many times have you sold it? If you're selling a tutu for $100 and no one is buying it, either you're not marketing it correctly, your pictures are bad, there's something wrong there. So I would decrease my price. Most people are not buying because of price and what they're getting. So you want to check your price.
How do you know if your price is too low?
You're selling too many of them too fast. Because so if you're selling, if your item is selling super fast, supply and demand. So if you're selling these things like hotcakes, your price is probably too low. It's one of those, it's too good to be true deals, and so people are taking advantage of that. So if you have a situation like that, which actually is a great situation, because it gives you room to grow, then you probably should increase your prices, and you're not putting so much work on yourself. You can make less items and more money than making a whole lot of more items or a whole lot more products and not making as much profit. Another thing that a lot of people don't consider in their pricing is how much did it cost you to make whatever you're selling? You know, because you have to take that in consideration. You can't think, I just want to sell this product for $100, and you're not considering how much it costs to get all your materials, your baking time, your shipping, all that. Like, all that's part of your, we got a package coming.
How do you gauge if something, like, how do you find a price point? How do you know if your price is too high or too low? Like, when we introduce a product, like if I make something new, how do we determine how we're going to price that? What do we use?
Well, for us, we'll go online to different websites. I mean, you can choose something like a Etsy or eBay or, you know, whatever site that has the same type or similar items that you have, and see what they have, and see how yours compares to them, on the look, the pictures, the setup. Sometimes I go on to a site and I see a particular price for an item, and I'll be like, nah, I ain't doing that, because I believe that what she can do is better than what they're showing, and their price is too low. So I feel like they've undercharged themselves or underselling themselves. So based on the talent that we have or that she has, I can determine, like, hey, you know what, we can probably bump this up maybe $50 or $75, depending on the market.
And I think it's important to say too, like, see if they're actually selling, because just because somebody prices stuff, right. You all have been on Etsy or some other online shops and you've seen somebody with like a really basic tutu and they're charging a really high price for it. And you're like, who's buying that? So don't just go off of what somebody's pricing. Are they pricing it at this price and selling? Like, if they're selling a whole bunch, maybe their price is too low. And if they're not selling any, maybe their price is too high. Okay, so sometimes we have customers come to us and they'll say that price is too high, or I wasn't going to pay that, or my cousin can make that, or I can go to somebody else I know somebody else that can make it for less, or whatever. How should us as sellers, how should we respond to that? Because sometimes you want to lower your price because you just want that sale so bad, but you feel like you're priced fair, and you know how much it cost you to make this item and stuff, what do you say?
Once again, it's based on how long you've been doing what you've been doing with the sales to back it up. Once again, like if you're in the beginning stages, you know, you may want to negotiate more in the beginning, you know, just to get sales up, to get, you know, so you can have some inventory to see what, so you can build a portfolio basically, you know, of what you have. But after a while, you need to increase your prices. I mean, either this is a hobby, or you're trying to make this a job, you know, or you're trying to make this a career, or you're trying to replace your income. You know, we do this to not go back to 9 to 5, so we don't do that. So I can't keep lowering my price. This is what it is, and honestly, we think we have the best product, and that's why you reached out to me. I do have advertisements, but you didn't have to click on to respond back. There's a lot of people that are selling the same thing I have. Okay, so if you're coming to me, that means you want my product, because I didn't come find you. You found me. All right, so this is my price. So if you don't want to pay my price, that's fine. It's okay. But I'm not your maker. I can't make what you want because you can't pay my prices. And stick to it. A lot of times we've declined people, say, hey, no, we can't sell this for $25. That's just not our arena. And if you sell it for $25, kudos, that's cool. We don't have the time. So if somebody's selling it for $25, or they want to buy yours for $25 and yours is $65, just say no. A lot of times we have people come back and say, hey, you know what? I want your tutu, because people want what they want and they're going to pay what they want to pay. So don't believe that people don't got no money. People have money, but people just decide what they want to pay for.
Okay, so lastly, my tip is for the creatives and crafters. If you are not strong in sales, like if you're just strong in creating and stuff and you're not sure about that, get a cheerleader, get somebody on your team that is good in those areas. So I'm gifted in sewing and crafting. Nate is gifted in sales and marketing and those things. So get somebody on your team that can do that for you. It doesn't have to be your husband. It can be one of your kids. It can be a friend. It can be a parent. Get somebody on your team that can help you be strong in those areas, because like Nate said, we do this full time. And in order to do this full time, you can't do that just, you know, not valuing your gift and making money. You have to make money if you'd like to do this full time. If you want to leave your 9 to 5, you want to be successful, even if you just want to have it as, even if you just want to do this as a side hustle, you need to make money.
Thanks for listening to Sharice and Nate's afternoon experience with pricing. Please subscribe to us. Let us know if you have any questions. Put that in the
comment section.
And we'll see you soon. Peace.
There you go. Hi, everybody. You've met Nate before, but if you're new to this channel,
You met me.